Before I do this video, like, share, subscribe to my channel. Always hit that notification bell. That'll let you know I'm bringing more videos that's coming your way. I'm sitting here thinking about black folks, right? And there's a reason why a lot of us don't have anything. And a lot of people say that the elders never left no generation wealth for the black American community, which that's somewhat true. But there's a there's a thing that's been going on in life with black folks and Hispanic folks. And these are the ones that's living in the hood, right? The rich people always dress poor, and the poor people always dress rich. I'm gonna say this again. The rich people always dress poor, and the poor people always dress rich. Have you noticed when you was in school, the majority of the Caucasian students that had and was born into a wealthy family always wore t-shirts, always wore jeans that was turned over, and they would wear the same thing over and over and over until it's holy. But the black and the Spanish, we would come to school dressed fresh kangaroos. Remember them kangaroos? Pumas, Adidas, or Levi jeans or Wrangler jeans, Lacoste shirts, Kangos, and we lived poor, had to drink Kool-Aid, sometimes sugar and water, rice, franks, and pork and beans for dinner. Remember them days? And when the summertime came, the first thing that a black person said, I'm going down south. That was a vacation. I'm going down south. Where you going for vacation? I'm going down south. There's nothing wrong with the South. There's nothing wrong with the South, but this is what I'm going down south. Meanwhile, the majority of the Caucasian kids that, went to school with us, their parents, oh, I'm going to Hawaii. My mother and father's taking us to Hawaii. My mother and father's taking us to Paris, France. My mother and father's, we're gonna fly to Italy. Remember them? From the hood, between the black and Spanish, we know we never had it, but in order to be validated from other dudes and women, this is the stuff that we wore. But the Caucasian didn't care about who liked them, who hated them. They didn't care. They was always about getting their money, putting it in the bank, and going to Abraham and Strauss. Remember that? Remember them stores? Abraham and Strauss, Alexander's, and all these stores buying T-shirts that was like back in the days $1, buying $5 jeans, buying Skippies, but their money was always put in the bank, always, always put in the bank, and their families always left money and a legacy for them. But us as blacks and Spanish, majority, nothing was left to us. We had to go have a collection. If somebody in the family passed away, we had to go in the collection to get money either to bury them or to cremate. And we always worried about, if I wear a pair of Skippies and jeans and t-shirts, this female's not going to talk to me. I'm going to get laughed at. So what? So what? Because at the end of the day, these people are not paying your bills. These people are not making sure you eat. They don't care nothing about you. All they care is how fresh you look. How much did them Jordans cost you? Because I remember back then, even when Michael Jordan sneakers first came out in the 80s, you didn't see a lot of Caucasians wearing them. They was wearing Converses. I remember. I was born 1970. I remember a lot of the white folks was wearing Converses while we was wearing Pumas, Jordans, Adidas, Felines, stuff that caught. And your mother and father said, if they didn't have a job, what did your mother say? You gotta wait till the first of the month. On the first of the month, and they got it for us, but you gotta wait for the first of the month. Like my mother had a part-time job, but my father had so many jobs he worked. God rest his soul, he worked himself to death. And the reason why I grew up the way I grew up and the way I work and everything, my mother and father made sure we had. They got for, especially my mother, God rest her soul. Yes. But my father said, everything, son, is not going to be handed to y'all, sons. You got to work for what you want. So if you want these things, you got to go to work with me. So we work with him on the weekends. Um, he managed a whole bunch of buildings. So we swept, mopped, and we got paid. He actually was working a part-time job delivering papers, and we got the job doing it with him. So we made $50 on the weekends. See, my father made sure, as his sons, whether we listened or not, you're not going to grow up to be a bum. That's not happening. That's not happening. Whatever you want, you like I did, I have to work. You got to work for it. This is what happened, man. But the point I'm trying to make is this is why a lot of Caucasian people had money because they didn't care how much things cost. It could have cost 50 cents. And in our family, it was kind of like that too. My mother taught us to save a dollar. So we went shopping at cheap places. But we looked at clean. My mother said, I don't care how much it costs you, as long as you look clean and you smell good. Because at the end of the day, these females ain't gonna help you pay your bills if you're in a jam that you're trying to impress, and these dudes are not gonna help you pay your rent and feed your belly when you have to do this. We always needed validation from either women or dudes in our neighborhood. It was look who's the freshest as a female. That's what I'm gonna open and give my box to. This is real talk, man. This is not a game. This is real talk, man. And this is why we don't have nothing. The general wealth of us is over. We should have did like the Caucasian did. Took that money and saved it. Now I know I have met some black young kids that was male and females that did save when they was getting money and allowance. They saved their money. They didn't care about how they looked. As long as they had a clean t-shirt, jeans, skippy, a decent haircut, and they smelled good. That's the main thing. I don't care how good you look. If your hygiene are terrible, then you can dress the best all you want. If you stink, then you're still messed up. But this what how Caucasians ran their family household. We went down south, but they saw the world. I'm gonna say it again. We went down south, which I made nothing wrong with going down there, but we didn't travel the world like they did. Their parents worked and saved and clothed them with the cheapest clothes, but they had the beautiful life. We had all the clothes that we couldn't afford and really couldn't go nowhere. We really couldn't go anywhere. That's just the way it is. Think about what I'm saying here. Think about that. Hashtag just us. Take the green pill and go, fellas. And until the next video, like, share, subscribe. And let me tell you something. Please leave a comment because I know a lot of people grew up in my era. I was born in 1970. Let me know how your mother and father ran the household and did y'all follow that pathway of Caucasians or of Spanish blacks. This Big Hawk, sayonara.